All right, Mech Warriors, let's build our Assault Mech checklist. What we've been exploring over the past couple of Battletech vlogs is looking at the common thread, looking at that common characteristic of what do we want in a mech through the various weight classes, light, medium, heavy, and now Assault, with the aim of doing two things. My focus was two things. First, for the new Mech Warriors out there, to begin to look through the tech manuals, to begin to look through your collection, your blind boxes, and figure out, build a lance, and get a little bit of synergy and get some tactica on the table. But likewise, as a way to examine heavy mechs, assault mechs, light mechs, medium mechs, so if something falls out of these parameters or goes against the common characteristics of this mech class, you're aware of it. There's a lot of mechs that are very, very focused designs to do something very, very specific that almost break out of the weight class. Looking at assaults, the Charger, right? A really fast assault mech, great armor, tons and tons of small lasers. And you look at this and you're like, what are we supposed to do with it? So understanding the role of each weight class, and when you break out of that role, being able to look at some tactica to make it work. And then, of course, diving into the individual mechs. I've covered a lot of mechs up on the Battletech playlist here on my channel, and we're going to circle back around and continue looking at heavies and assaults, some of the more obscure mechs, ones that don't necessarily have a model, or perhaps ones that you can 3D print to utilize from that perspective. So we're going to jump in and explore some of those. So the first thing about a heavy mech, an assault mech, first thing about an assault mech, big guns and armor. The two go hand in hand. I say that because now we have enough tonnage where I need significant armor. I don't want a under-armored or more lightly armored assault mech. It's going to be responsible for getting up there into the thick of things. And based on the average speed, that is the choice that we're going to make. I have to be prepared for when I arrive at that moment. We'll follow up in a moment what I mean by that. But good armor, good weapons. I want to see multiple hard-hitting weapons. I want to see redundancy where there's multiple of the same type. I want to see heat sinks that can utilize these. I won't be able to fire everything every single turn, but at various range brackets or at a focused bracket, I should be able to lay down some significant damage, some significant dice. So what this means is, obviously in assault mech, we're going to go and assault things. We're going to sit there and blast away. We'll do our best not to get hit, but we can take a little bit of return fire. It's going to take commitment. Now, jumping into tactica just for a second. We talk about battle value. We talk about C-bills. Whatever it costs for you to put this machine on the table, you need to be out there earning every single turn. And the way that you earn the battle value, what I mean by that is, like, if I'm just hanging back because I'm like, look, I just want to kind of dominate this hex map, I'm just going to hang back and do nothing with my Atlas. That's not efficient use of battle value. You want to be up there. So the two things that we're looking to do with assault mechs every single turn is attack your opponent, be damaging them, be destroying, bringing mechs to destruction, just focused fire. But at the same time, looking for opportunity to tie up as many units as possible of your opponent. If they have to put in 2 lights, if they have to break off a couple of hovercraft, if they have to send in a bulldog tank, I don't want to stand there. I want to run and gun as best I can. But look at the battle value that's dedicated to trying to stop and put the hurt on your assault mech. If that's 3 or 4 times the battle value of your assault mech, you're winning just there. Of course, also destroying. So we explore that. In terms of weapons, we have the chance to mount everything. I mean, look at something like the awesome multiple PPCs. If you look at the Atlas, you've got that autocannon 20 for close-in work. You've got the LRM for long-range work. You've got a brace of lasers for medium-range work. You've got a lot of stuff. Next on the checklist, for me, but Fritz, you play the Stalker all the time. You love the Stalker. I do love the Stalker. But we're building the checklist, and when I don't play the Stalker for this, I do other things. I'm sorry, if I'm playing the Stalker, I do other things. Hands, physical attacks. Physical attacks are an important part of Battletech. They are. Assault mechs have the raw tonnage literally to split a light mech in half, to punch and to kick. So I kick with the Stalker. But punching is very, very interesting because it's a 1 in 6 chance on that table, And if you have some other weapons like the Atlas in the torsos, the autocannon 20 and other things, you can be blasting with those punch, punch. Very, very important to consider the tactica of punching. I won't say don't take a handless or armless assault mech, but that is a viable consideration given the raw tonnage. Now, the other thing, of course, is being able to be aware and look. I don't have the speed of an assault mech. Even the Charger, it's pretty fast, but it's not light or medium fast. So what this means is you're going to look on the table. You're going to look on the table, and based on the mission, based on the terrain, figure out those points, those checkpoints where, look, this is where Fritz is going to hang out. He's going to bring the longbows up here because they've got full coverage. They can hide behind something. He can indirect. Parks an infantry platoon right there. They've got spotting. Perfect. Line of sight. Good. If you know I'm going there, that's where you send your assault mech. You don't have the speed to be chasing me around the table. That's not out earning. That's wasting turns. Likewise, once you send it there to engage me, do I want to give up this good point? If it's a case of my longbows, do I want to give up this point on the table and run away? I don't want to engage an Atlas. It'll just scrap me. That's why I have 2 Bulldog tanks or a T-Bolt based on the battle value parked there also. But this is just a tactica example of you moving in that direction. Where are you going to go? If there's a side of the table where you can outflank on the left side of the hex map to then come around and move into the city square where my longbows and all my tactica is, run up the flank. Just start running up that flank. Force me to engage you there. Bring me to you. That is an important tactica because assault mechs do not have, in all cases, the speed. So in building that, the primary focus on that list is what are you doing to be earning? Light mechs, okay, you can run around. You could do this. If there's a turn or two you're not earning, okay, it's a couple hundred battle value. But once you're over 1K and that 1K is tied up in a single piece, you need to be focused. You need to be earning. That with the other aspects of assault mechs really kind of brings that pinnacle of us exploring lights, mediums, heavies, and assaults. And by request, we're going to jump into quads pretty soon. More to come.